So to cast off, we are going to first knit the first 2 stitches, just like you have been doing. But then instead of continuing on across this row, what I'm going to do is take my left knitting needle and I'm going to pick up this stitch and I'm going to pull it over this stitch off the needle. So we'll do that again. I'm going to knit this stitch, and then I'm going to take this needle and lift it up over the next one. Now, when you get to the end here, what you're going to do is pull out this loop a little ways and then grab some scissors and snip there. All right, and I'm going to sew one of my ends in with a standard yarn needle, and I'm going to sew the other one with my plastic yarn needle that is my favorite. So to start with, if you are not familiar with the easy ways to thread needles, if you take your yarn and place it over the side of your needle and kind of pinch that really tight and then pull the needle out, this kind of gives you a nice easy way to get that in without, sticking the yarn in your mouth. So there you go. Alternatively, if you struggle to thread needles, this at least is pretty big, but with some of the smaller yarns, it can be a little bit of a challenge. Using something like this can be really helpful. You just put the really thin wire through there, put the yarn through, and then pull the whole thing back through. Although sometimes you do need to kind of grip here as you pull through, or you accidentally pull your little wires out. So from here, you can put a knot in the end if you want. I don't always do that. I normally kind of maybe just do one like that, but you could do 2 if you want to make sure it's really secure. Now, some people kind of go along the edge. I don't always like doing that because I think it makes the edge look thick. I think if you go into the fabric a little bit more, it's a little bit less noticeable. So I kind of just try to, pick up that stitch and that one kind of going a little bit at an angle. And again, kind of just going right under those stitches. And then I pull through like that. And then I'll go down. And at an angle. And then I kind of like to go back up the same way. So I went up this way, down this way, and then I'll go up again. So I've kind of got it going 3 different directions. And then just trim that close.
Currently in Mechanicsburg, it's 41 degrees and sunny.
Thanks, Google.
With a forecasted 42 and a low.
All right. Now, the reason I really like this one, there's kind of 2 things. First of all, I'm not very good at threading needles, to be honest. So I like that I can just stretch that open and do that. The other thing is sometimes, particularly if you accidentally you don't have a very long tail and you've only maybe got that much yarn to work with, you can put it in, this way, but the yarn, because it slides across your whole needle, you could do it that way. You could turn it and do it the other, well, very awkward. Anyways, you could turn it and do it the other way. You have a little bit more flexibility there, which I really like. So, but again, I'm doing the exact same thing, basically. I'm just going up through a few stitches on a diagonal like that. No, I didn't tie the end, but I would tie the end. but I don't think it's going to come out, so I think it'll be fine. So go down in a diagonal here. And then back up the same way. Oops. One other quick note just about hand stitching. It is much easier to move your hand in this direction as opposed to this direction. So don't feel confined by like, oh, well, I have to go multiple different directions and just keep my piece of work here. Like turn your work so it's easier for you to actually, weave your ends in and you're not doing weird things with your wrist.